This is Bill Prince. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'd like to show you a new puzzle box I recently completed. My own design and fabricated it myself, and as far as I know, it's the only one that opens the way this one opens. In the past, I've made several other puzzle boxes. I'll show you here. Actually, the first one I made when I was a kid is over here. I still have it. I was about 12 years old. And it operates with a orientation of the box. As you can see how that rotates. Not very good craftsmanship, but I was 12 years old when I made it. And then a year or so ago, year and a half ago, I made this box. And this one is very complex. I won't open it up, but it has a mechanism in this brass box. And the way it opens is with a motion, with a swirling motion of the box. One direction to lock it, the other direction to open. And I have a video on it called the Herons Box. And then I made one that's quite a bit simpler and a little bit hard to see what opens on it. But it's very simple once you know how. And it basically opens with an impact load. And I call it the hooks box. There's also a video on it. And it has a spring in it where the Herons Box has a worm gear. Heron of Alexandria, around 60 AD, he is the inventor of the worm gear. And Hooks did the Hooks law, which relates to coil springs, and this has some coil springs in it. And my new box I call Herons Box, which is another name for Heron of Alexandria, and it utilizes another item that he invented. Anyway, this is the new box, which we'll talk about now. I have handles on it here, and it actually is very easy to open. And the type of boxes that you usually come across, they have a lot of pieces on the outside that you have to move in different directions. They take dozens or maybe even hundreds of different moves to get into them. I view those as more or less similar to a combination lock. And they're impossible to figure out how to get into them, but even if you know how, it's going to be pretty difficult. And this one is almost impossible to get into, but if you know how, it's actually very easy to get into. And I just realized I have it unlocked now, but how this one opens is with air pressure. And I'll go ahead and I'll lock it first. I actually have it unlocked. These little caps come off. And so you blow in this side. And now the box will be locked. It won't open. This one has a hinge for the lid. The other one too. The other ones, the lid actually comes off. So if I want to open the box, blow in this side a couple times, and the box opens. And you'll notice there's a fan inside. This is just a little cover. If you want to put items in the box where it won't get in the way of the mechanism. I've got it unscrewed now. But this comes off, and you can see the mechanism, and I will lock it. You can see sort of how it works. And so, and the fan moves the all-thread rod, and it then ends up having a latch-in lever that goes into this cavity here, into the side of the box. And this comes down when you close the lid. And the reason it's hinged, because if it was solid, it would not go into the slot. So it hinges and it drops down into that slot. And then when you lock it, that lever goes through this little square hole. So what we have is a free-running fan. And Heron of Alexandria, or a hero of Alexandria, he invented the first item that actually had a wind-driven fan that would operate a mechanism. In his case, I think it was a little set of flutes that would be operated, and with a little pump, a wind, like an air pump. And so that's basically how it works. I'll unlock it again. You'll see it. And now that withdraws. The little springs have to be on here. There's one actually inside of one of these little squares. That's really why they're here, not only for design, but this one has a hole in it with a spring. And so if you have too much momentum with the fan, once the fan stops, it'll lock. And then you don't have enough breath to unlock it. So this cushions the spring on here and on both the lock and the unlock side. That slows the fan down so that it doesn't lock up. And so I'll close it, and actually the little handles are really only on here to kind of camouflage these little blow tubes. And so the little caps go back on it, but I'll lock it again one more time. Couple times in it, and it's locked. And you put the little caps back on, and that's the box. To the best of my knowledge, there's not another one that operates this way. So thanks for viewing.